Okay, we're on. And well,
Okay, hi
I'm
there.
Joe, and this is Sherry.
Yeah,
And
we're meeting for the first time on Zoom, but I put a picture up behind me. That is one of the very first times we met each other,
yeah,
and it's because I met Joe. He's in my neighborhood, and he loves trees as much as I do, but he knows far more. Anyway, this particular um, image is a tour that of the trees of Thornton Park, which is again in our neighborhood. It's by the train station, and actually, as you look at the photo, we're looking directly at where the St. Paul's Hospital is about to be built. So this was a few years ago, but yeah, Joe, my friend, is giving a tour to a group of people. Was that one of Jane's walks? I think it was in
yes,
May, maybe
it,
May.
it was the first weekend in May. It's a
Yeah.
spring event, and citizens offered tours of neighborhoods, and it's a great way of learning neighborhoods and also meeting neighbors and learning more about one's homes, because we share a home together. That's what a city is. And this was one of my trees of Thornton walk.
Yeah.
Thornton Park is actually an arboretum. There's trees from all over the world, and it's really quite a beautiful place. And I've yet to put up a proper catalog online that
But
like,
it's the city of Vancouver. Ha doesn't it have a map online
oh,
that has
yes,
the trees
there's a
listed?
map of the trees of Vancouver, and you can go close up and go specimen by specimen and identify species and where their native ranges are. And it's there's a lot more resources now than there was back then, eh?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Also, the interesting about this particular photo I chose to start with is there's my mother is in it, and she is the white-haired lady on the right
Oh
there with a
God.
walker and in the rose-colored jacket. And my mother was about 98 at the time, but she could trip around the park and listen to Joe. Yeah, it was a good experience for her, me, and all the others that were there.
Yeah. And it's right in front of the train station, which is another big piece of Vancouver history.
Hmm.
Um, gee, let's see. Uh, I've got a rather neutral background on, kind of not exactly copper to, the blue-green copper oxide. This is only half the spectrum from brass to almost green. Um, but the spectrum is there, and it's a reminder of how many spectra surround us. And I
Yeah.
love the play of light on water. Um,
Well, it's very golden. Yeah, and
yeah,
peaceful.
yeah. Um, a bit of Vancouver history, perhaps, to shift to, if it works. I'm having a glitch with the recording process, and sometimes I can't trust it. So, um, this is Hastings, Maine, to folks out there in the world who might I'll get myself off screen a moment. And this is kind of where Vancouver started, sort of, a few blocks from. And that's the Carnegie Library and the Ford Building. And the Carnegie goes back to 1900. And the Ford Building, I think, is 1909, in the Chicago business style. Um, and Gastown and Chinatown are nearby. But most of the upscale businesses moved west time and time and time again. It happened 3 or 4 times over the next few generations, and this neighborhood was left in the dust. And surrounded by poverty and turned into a skid. Skid Road actually is a nod to the lumber skid road, which was actually along Carroll and Columbia Street, directly west of here. And that was actually where the city started. Where the east and west line happens is Carroll Street, which was not only a log skid, but previously a native canoe portage in between this small bay and the big bay. It was actually a point of traffic and an interesting crossroad at which the city was born that few people know about. And um and geez, I'm gonna actually, if I can, call up another picture because the here it is. Okay. The city has these memory mosaics around town, and this one's for the Lucky Portage. And that was the name that was given to the portage that became the log skid, um, the Lucky. And in the native language, it meant the grove of beautiful trees. Right beside the portage was a grove of beautiful trees. And that's how the canoers going along both sides knew how to find it. And um, and that's a good thing to remember. And canoes are not archaic, and having a paddle is still a skill and a tool worth having. And I'd like to advocate that they bring back the Lucky one way or another. Just make the city more canoe friendly. Anyway, I got several hobby horses I can ride, but
Yes.
I think I'll let that hobby horse go and introduce Sherry's fascination with branches, this
Yes.
affection for trees. Go ahead.
Well, that is a photograph. And it was a photograph I took. That tree, mind you, I like the beauty of the tree. Maybe Joe knows what kind of tree it is. I don't. But it was on the boulevard, and I look out my living room window. I'm looking at this tree, but this was in the middle of summertime. So the sad thing is that this tree had died, and the city of Vancouver came along and chopped it down. But before that happened, I mean, I watched them chop it down. But I have this photograph, and I'm an artist, and so I made a painting of this. So I'm going to switch now to the painting. And unfortunately, I can't really show the whole tree, but you get the idea. This is called Pastel Glow. But it was part of a series of trees. The first time I exhibited it, it was in an exhibit called Dream Coats is the short name. Trees and their amazing Technicolor dream coats. That was the
Oh,
exhibit. And what I did was I painted the spaces between the negative spaces between the branches and create moods and rhythms in that space. So I did a whole series of trees, starting with the silhouette. And that was one. And later on, I kept doing this, and I mean, I kept painting trees, and I did another exhibit at another time called the Poetry Branches. So yeah, it gave me a couple of years of focus on trees.
wow. Nice little um docent. It's a visit to an exhibition with the artist as the docent. That's really kind of nifty. Um, let's see. Uh, these things go long quickly, and I don't know how much more I can chat about. A little bit of something. We'll see what I can come up with. Um, There's
I'll change my background to
oh,
an
that's lovely
arbutus tree.
too.
I like,
Wow.
and I painted it. It doesn't show the whole tree, but you get an idea again of the rhythms I create and the pattern.
Wow. Um, here's a shot of let's see, the seawall. And um I guess Vancouver is often a subject, and what grabs me here is not only is the silver science world a nice silver globe, but along this the railing there's a golden globe light, and the golden globe really caught my eye. And uh, so a gold and a silver globe together in a couplet. And another thing about trees is, for me, this branch feels like an embrace, like um
A caress, a
yeah,
hug.
and it illuminates the moving air, the
Yeah,
breeze. And so that enlivenment can actually enliven the embrace of it as well. And anyways, it's just that there's many flavors of beauty. And um it's a joy to be able to share beauty. And um keep on going with that. Um Jane Jacobs of the walks in the park also talked about city planning and how do we build a city and how does the human hive work. And in back here, whoops, let's get the fingers right. There's a big development going in here over top of the aquabus, and it's actually four towers, and I'm about to call it be, split between two owners. I'm about to call it Citygate South, and it's McDonald's and the parking lot. Anyways, I've got a lot of thoughts to share about it and how to integrate it into, say, the Great Northern Ways campus as integrating in with Science World, education in several flavors, all in gear together. You know, they can build a synergy and an energy that can be quite invigorating. And all it takes is some forethought, planning, luck, and more luck, I guess. Anyway, I can be a chatterbox in many different flavors, and this is really a nice way to explore. And also, it's a nice little portrait of you and your work and interests, and some of mine too. Um, so I'll box this up, put it on YouTube, and then send it to you for vetting, and then maybe we'll share it with the class tomorrow. Just a little bit
okay,
of work.
okay.
How's that
Bye bye.
sound?
Bye bye.
Any wrap up thoughts or
No,
points?
no, this is the first experience. Bye
Okay.
bye.
All right. And thanks for the arbutus trees too.
Okay.
Take care and we'll wrap.